Did you know that over 80% of stories today follow the same basic structure? That means most of what we watch or read is often predictable, leaving audiences yawning before the plot even thickens. In fact, a 2019 survey showed that 60% of people feel bored with typical movie plots. That's a huge missed opportunity for storytellers. But here's the good news: you can fix that. Imagine creating a story that keeps people on the edge of their seats, completely unsure of what will happen next. Sounds exciting, right? In this video, we'll dive into 6 powerful ways to make your stories unpredictable, fresh, and unforgettable. Whether you're writing a book, making a film, or telling a story in any form, these strategies will help you break free from the tired old formulas. Stick around, and you'll learn how to break the mold, twist those tired tropes, and leave your audience stunned with endings they never saw coming. Chapter 1. Break the mold. Ditch the formula. Stories often feel predictable because we fall into familiar patterns. Whether it's the classic hero's journey or the 3-act structure, sticking to these formulas can lead to stagnation. The truth is, audiences today crave novelty. According to a study from the Journal of Consumer Research, unexpected twists are one of the primary ways to keep an audience engaged. One way to break the mold is to mix up your story's structure. Instead of following a traditional start, middle, and end, consider starting at the climax or using flashbacks to reveal crucial details. The famous writer Kurt Vonnegut said it best: story shapes are the only interesting thing about stories. Aiming to surprise your audience with unpredictable structures can add complexity and freshness to your narrative. Chapter 2. Twist the tropes. Use familiarity to your advantage. Tropes aren't inherently bad. In fact, they can be quite useful. But using them in a predictable way can quickly make your story feel stale. Take the classic, reluctant hero trope, for instance. We've seen it countless times, but that doesn't mean it has to be boring. You can breathe new life into it by adding unexpected qualities to the character. Think about how Deadpool turned the classic superhero trope upside down with humor and self-awareness. Research by The Atlantic found that a good subversion of expectations, even in familiar plots, can captivate an audience far more than the traditional approach. Subverting tropes doesn't mean completely eliminating them, it's about creating fresh spins. Even the predictable love triangle can be made engaging if you dig deeper into the emotional turmoil and personal growth of each character involved. Chapter 3. Emotion over plot. Make your audience feel, not guess. A compelling story isn't just about what happens, it's about how the audience feels. Emotion-driven narratives are far more memorable than plot-driven ones. Studies show that stories invoking strong emotions have a greater impact and are more likely to be shared. For example, Pixar's Inside Out doesn't rely on a convoluted plot but instead taps into universal emotions, like joy, sadness, and anger. When your audience connects emotionally with your characters, they become invested. A quote from Stephen King emphasizes this: "The most important things are the hardest to say." When you focus on raw, real emotions, you keep your audience intrigued. Instead of relying on plot twists, delve into complex emotional landscapes that evolve over time. This will keep your story from feeling predictable, even if the events themselves are simple. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips on how to become a better storyteller and break the mold of typical narratives. Let's keep creating unpredictable, unforgettable stories together. Chapter 4. Conflict from within. Create unseen struggles. External conflict, like battles or fights, may move a story forward, but it's often the internal conflicts that make a story truly compelling. Stories that focus on internal struggles, like self-doubt or moral dilemmas, are far less predictable and far more engaging. Take The Godfather, for example. Michael Corleone's internal battle between family loyalty and personal morality adds depth and tension. A report from Harvard Business Review found that internal conflict in storytelling is a powerful tool for creating deeper, more authentic character arcs. It's these unseen battles, often happening in the background, that transform ordinary stories into unforgettable ones. Internal struggles also allow for character development, which keeps the audience from guessing the character's next move. The key is not to rely solely on external action but to show the complexities of the character's mind and emotions. Chapter 5. Pacing is power. Learn when to slow down. Pacing is often the secret weapon in storytelling. If every scene is action-packed or filled with drama, your audience will eventually become numb to it. The trick is to learn when to slow down. A 2015 study by Science Direct found that well-paced narratives, which alternate between fast action and slower emotional beats, are more engaging. Think of The Silence of the Lambs. The film builds tension through moments of stillness, only to release it at the perfect time. Pauses or quieter moments allow the audience to catch their breath, reflect, and engage on a deeper emotional level. These slower moments can also be used to hint at what's to come, creating anticipation. Effective pacing involves balancing speed and stillness, which makes the story feel less predictable. Chapter 6. Endings that echo. Leave the audience thinking. Endings that tie everything up neatly often feel too safe. While a conclusion is important, the best stories leave us with lingering thoughts. It's not about giving the audience all the answers but creating an ending that resonates long after the story is over. A 2017 study in psychology of aesthetics, creativity, and the arts found that unresolved endings keep people thinking about the story more deeply. A great example is Inception, which leaves viewers questioning reality long after the credits roll. The key is to create endings that spark conversation, debate, or even confusion, but in a thought-provoking way. Avoid traditional, happily ever afters, unless you can make them truly unique. The writer Margaret Atwood once said, "A good story isn't one that ends, it's one that lingers." Make your ending one that your audience can't forget. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips on crafting unpredictable, unforgettable stories that will captivate your audience. Let's keep telling stories that leave people thinking long after the story ends.